So that's Brandon Tatum, who is a person who worked with Charlie Kirk. And I just love that audio because it is, in a nutshell, yes, that was a black man and a black woman speaking. But America is the greatest country that was ever made in this world. And we are going to lose it if we don't get the right people in office and if we don't get the right people making decisions for us. Because we are a representative democracy. So this is why I'm so committed to bringing candidates in from all different backgrounds, different parties. I invite every single candidate to come on. Okay? Today we've got Gregg Poole. Gregg Poole is running for Congress in the 9th District. He's also a Hall County Commissioner. He was kind of a really surprise win for Hall County Commission. He was never surprised, but I think politicos were surprised. I think he knew he was going to win. And so he's coming in today, and we're going to talk about his run for Congress. Gregg, how are you?
Awesome. Good to be here.
And Gregg Poole with 2 G's.
Yes.
That's right. You want to get that right. 2 G's and an E on the end of Poole.
Right.
That's right. So first of all, tell us why you decided to run for Congress.
Nobody should ever vote for me for the reason why I'm running. I want to say that because people say you use this to get votes. I'm running because I believe that this is exactly what the Lord wants me to do. I'm stuck. I'm a Baptist pastor, ordained Baptist pastor, and I'm stuck and I can't move 1 inch until I do this. And I hate being stuck. I can't move on, so I'm more afraid of winning than I am losing. Losing don't bother me one bit, and I have realized this, that not being afraid to lose, they hate you when you're not afraid to lose. I'm like a missile. I'm locked on, and I'm ready to roll.
You know, and I can relate to that. I ran for Congress in 2012, and I wanted to win. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I wanted to win. But I am thankful in a way that I didn't because it opened up so many doors for me. And my husband had cancer twice after I lost that election. And if I had been a congresswoman, then something would have suffered in my family, you know. And so I knew God had a plan for me.
All right.
And the lesson I learned, which I've been taught a few times in my life, is that I cannot do things on my timetable.
Right.
I have to do it on God's timetable.
Right. One of the things that one of the people I've met in my time as a commissioner, and he's probably one of the best people I've ever talked to, Dave Wills. He's head of ACCG. He said, sometimes you win when you lose. Now, let me tell the voters out there, I plan on winning. and I actually think I am the 9th District. It says it on my card, I am the 9th District. Of all the declared candidates, nobody is the 9th District more than I am. I am exactly what people think of when they think of the 9th District. They think of a Christian conservative. I don't think you're going to find nobody that represents our core values. This is the Bible Belt. We're one of the last few Bible belts in the United States. And I'm telling you, if you want your Christian core values represented, I'm the only candidate that will represent your Christian core value. I'm not saying that slinging mud at nobody. I just know who I am. I know what I stand on. I know what I stand for on a daily basis as a Hall County Commissioner. And I can tell you, I've been in these meetings with these people, and I'm telling you, I'm the only one on the table standing up for the nuclear family. I'm the only one standing up for our Christian values. I'm the only one that is truly a conservative in the conservative sense. I fit that description. Honestly, I feel like a unicorn in this.
So tell us what you've learned so far since you've announced, because I'm sure you've been, and we'll talk about Hall County in a minute, because you've done a lot of great stuff here in Hall County. But how has it been getting out and campaigning, and what have you learned as you've done it?
I've learned that most people that are of the political world are saying, what are you doing? Because, this sounds... they know that I'm the voice of the people. I'm running for my mama. She's 81 years old. I'm running for my granddaughter. I love my grandbaby. I'm running for working class families that can't afford a home right now. I believe it's the biggest threat to our way of life is young people do not have the chance that me and you had now because housing price has outgrown the price of their wages. So it's a threat to our way of life. They're wanting to turn our young people into renters. Look around Gainesville, Hall County, 9th District. Apartments going up everywhere, and they're saying, well, this is all they can afford. Well, number one, for us to say that and not say, let's do something about it, is insanity. We don't want to be a renter district. We don't want the 9th District to be a slave to this kind of mentality. I think it's insanity that we're not addressing this. And the Trump administration has said that they were going to declare an emergency housing affordability. It's not that we don't have enough houses, it's that we don't have enough affordable starter houses. And it's starter homes. People used to get married and go to a starter home, migrate up to another when they got their wages up. We don't even have starter homes no more. We're trying to flood the zone with houses at $450,000 to $500,000 that nobody qualifies for that loan except maybe the 1%.
So there was a little neighborhood around the corner here that was being built, and I think it was mostly cluster homes, okay? But a friend of mine that was developing it, their intention was to have $300,000 homes, okay? Which still to me sounds crazy, okay? And they ended up, by the time they finished them, selling them all for $440,000. That's what the market brought on that. But it's true. I have, just in my children, okay, where I have 3 children that are from 39 to 43, okay? And then my youngest child is going to be 34 next month, okay? Just the difference in how they're able to do things. My older children, they've each had a couple of houses. They've done the traditional thing. You know, you get married, you have a kid or a couple, 3 kids, you buy a house, then you buy a better house. They've all been able to do that. My daughter that is going to be 34, she's doing fine. But, I mean, she's a budgeter. She's doing everything right, you know, all of that. But they've got a very substantial down payment saved, and it is still not enough to get a house that they can afford.
$450,000 starter home, you got to have $90,000 down payment. You're going to have 20% down. And I'm telling you, imagine.
And then you still have a $300,000 mortgage.
And then you still have to pay rent while you're saving, which is $1,600 to $2,000 a month. You still got to pay your car payment, which cars are elevated with the interest rates higher. So the cost of living is through the roof. And then imagine trying to save so you can live the American dream. And for us not to address that, for our representatives not to done be talking about it, to me says, I don't want nobody talking for me no more.
If, say you get elected, what can you do as one of 435?
Be an agitator. Be somebody that will at least come to the table and say, hey, all right, we've talked about everything else. Number one of the things that is shocking to me, the 10 nations, as when it comes to defense spending, the top 10 spenders in the world, we're number 1, and we spend as much as the other 9 combined, almost, except for about I think it was $500 million or $10 billion. And of those other 9, 6 of them are our allies. So we're spending that much money on national defense. And you say you're against national defense. No, I'm for it. But I want to know why we're spending more than the other 10 countries.
But here's something I'll get you to think about that, okay? In 1960, 27% of the budget was spent on defense. 27%. Now it's 4%. Okay, so as a percentage of the total budget, it's actually less than what it was in 1960. Now, what's happened is entitlement programs. Okay,
yeah.
So in 1960, you didn't have Medicare. You didn't have, you had Social Security, and I don't consider that because you fund that yourself. Do you know what I mean? But Medicare, 45% of Medicare comes from the general budget. It doesn't come from the taxes you and I pay.
Right.
It comes from the general budget. So there's about 3/4 of the budget is on automatic pilot. Okay, because it's Medicare, Medicaid, interest on the debt, federal pension, and there's one other that I always forget. There's 5 things that are on automatic pilot that we don't even look at, Okay, so out of $7 trillion or $6.5 trillion, $4 trillion of it just goes no matter what we do. And we've got to put all of that on the table, all of it. And defense is half of what's left to spend.
I want to look at all of it.
All of it.
I want to look at all
I'm sorry, I
of it.
didn't mean to get,
No,
but that's like I'm passionate about that.
I like that you like that.
Yeah.
It makes me look calm. You're helping me. I love that. But one of the things that we've done as a Howell County Commissioner, we found where money's being spent. I mean, we talk about Dozier or things like that. In Howell County, we have constantly for 2 years. One good thing about that, we look at our budgets and all that. And I just think that it's one of the things that needs to be talked about. I think one of the things that we talked about here in Howell County, we're addressing the affordable issue. One of the things we're going to do is hope to do with this pause or moratorium, whatever you want to call it, is put a sunset on these zonings, because you'd have speculators coming in, buying tracts of land, and then when they get them zoned, they just sit on them and they'd sell them. It's like they're buying something because they know they'd raise the land price up. So when we do the sunset, 18 months, a year and a half, then it'll come back and down zone if they hadn't stuck that shovel in the ground, if they hadn't got that LDP process started. Then that way, you're going to see a lot of only serious builders come in doing these projects, because then they know that it's just not a spec. We just can't keep flipping this property.
So if you're elected and you take office, and this is gonna be a question that's gonna get you in trouble, but I'm gonna ask you. Social Security has got to be dealt with. Okay, right now, for me, I'm 67 in 10 months when I can start drawing. And then it goes up to 67.
You don't look 67.
Thank you. I'm 66, actually, but I can start
drawing. You
don't
look 66.
Thank you very much. Thank you. My husband takes very good care of me. But right now, people stop paying Social Security tax when they get to $176,000 a year. It doesn't go all the way up. I think that ought to be changed, number one. And I think, and I know this is going to blow people up, they ought to make the ages 70. Because we're all living longer, not for people 50 and over. People 50 and over have been paying in their whole lives. You shouldn't change the rules. But we've got to do something about these benefits. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I have never dove into those numbers to look at them. So for me to make an intelligent conversation about this, you'd say, well, he don't know what he's talking about. One of the things when I think of Social Security that worries me right now is the amount. I think about this, and I may be wrong, the amount of people, illegal immigrants, whomever, whatever country they're from, that may be acting like they're legal citizens, and they're paying into Social Security now, that are never going to be a burden to it, but yet they're helping fund it. So if they remove all these people from the country that are helping fund Social Security, that are never going to be a burden, when you take that funding avenue away, and then yet here we are, we're going to have to do more heavy lifting, us, the taxpayer, because we're actually taking away something that's helping fund it that is never going to be there to be a recipient of it.
So we're going to take a break. Can you stay one more segment?
I'd love to stay forever.
So, well, you can't do that, but we'll take a break and then we'll be back. It is the Martha Zoller Show. We're here with Gregg Poole, and he is running for Congress. It's GreggPoole.com. That's GreggPoole. You're not a traditional Republican. You're a conservative, okay? But you've got some ideas that people are going to push back on. And we had a call from Lula asking you to explain your view as to why immigrants should get Social Security.
I didn't say they should. I said if they're legal, they should get it.
If they're legal, they should get it.
Yes, I've never said they should get it. I said I'm worried about when you take the illegal immigrants that are help fund Social Security, we're going to be in trouble as a system, because that means the funding source, if you take them out of it, those dollars are going to have to come from somewhere. I didn't say they should get it. If they're legal, they should. If you're a legal citizen, you should get that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got, this one text message I think is more directed at me, so I'm not gonna, I'll read it afterwards. Let me just see what some things are going on here on some different issues. What do you think? What do you think will be what'll set you apart from the other candidates in the race? Because it looks like there'll be three. There'll be the incumbent, and there'll be Sam Kuvion, the mayor of Gainesville, and you. What sets you apart?
I believe I'm gonna have the voice. You'll be able to look at and everybody, when we take money from people as donors and all, they're your handlers, or your donor base, or whatever you want to call that. My base will be more grassroots. My base will be more leaning toward everyday working class people. My base will be the church more than anything. My base will be as Christian based as you can get it. I mean, it's who I am. It's what I am. The greatest thing that ever happened to me was when the Lord saved me. Second greatest thing is when I got my wife to marry me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If everyone knowed that on my first date I totaled her car on her first date, and I still got her to marry me, so I'm a pretty good salesman.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right about that. That's a pretty good salesman. So, if people want to help you with your campaign, how can they do that?
They can go to Gregg Poole for U.S. Congress, or www.greggpoole.com, and there's a give side on there. And I'm terrible at asking people for money. I mean, and I'm a Baptist preacher. You'd think I'd be good at this, but I'm really terrible at this. I'm mainly asking people for their vote. I mean, I want to win. I want to win for our 9th district. I want to win for our county, our people. I grew up doing this here, and I've just always been a construction worker. The Lord's been good to me. I started a business. He's been exceptionally gracious to me. Helped my family, got my family back right. Everybody knows me, knows what I'm talking about. I mean, he's given me a granddaughter now. I mean, my family he has been amazing to me. I can't ask for nothing else. I am the 9th district.
Gregg Poole. It's greggpoole.com if you want to know more about him. Lots more to come.